Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. I&R spoilers. Kyle sends Jack warning, gets hit with reality. The Young and the Restless. I&R spoilers suggest that Kyle Abbott, Michael Miller, sends his father, Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, a warning. However, he has no idea what's coming his way. Kyle will get faced with reality. Keep on reading to learn more. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Kyle Abbott sends Jack Abbott a warning. Kyle is upset about losing his job at Jabbit. He's been planning a way to get back at his family, including his parents Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters. Kyle will now team up with Victor Newman, Eric Braden, to seek revenge on his mother. He doesn't understand why he lost his job. Kyle feels that his ex-wife Summer Newman, Allison Lanier, could have tipped off his father. He believes that she's seeking revenge because he went against her by hiring Claire, Haley Aaron. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal Kyle is on a warpath. On the Monday, July 8th episode, he arrived at the Abbott mansion. He poured himself a drink despite drinking heavily at society. Jack enters the room and tells his son he just wants to talk. It doesn't take long for the father and son duo to argue over his firing. Jack tells Kyle that he was the one who pushed for his firing. This doesn't make Kyle feel any better. He declares that he's the new head of Glissade. He's working alongside Audra Charles, Zulika Silver, and will become one of the most powerful men in the industry. I would have done anything for you, Dad, and for Jabbit. But not anymore. I work for the enemy and there is nothing you can do to stop it, Kyle warned him. And our spoilers. Kyle Abbott faces reality. According to the Young and the Restless spoilers, Kyle Abbott will deal with a reality check. He's in for a rude awakening for the remainder of the week. He's in over his head with his new position with Glissade. Meanwhile, Summer is shocked to learn about Kyle's plans to move out of the Abbott mansion. She found out this news through Diane. She fears that Kyle will try to take her son away from her. As Y&R viewers already know, Summer was granted parental rights while they were married. Kyle could take those rights away. The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest she could slap him with a dose of reality. Summer is hiring lawyers to revisit their custody agreement. Summer will try to get full custody of Harrison Locke Abbott, Kellen and Mukez. But she's not his adoptive mother or his biological mother. What are your thoughts on this development? Sound off below in the comment section. As the sun set over Genoa City, casting a golden hue across the Newman Towers and Abbott Manor, a storm was brewing within the Abbott family. Inside the elegantly furnished living room of the Abbott estate, Kyle Abbott paced back and forth, his face a mask of frustration and determination. He had just received a piece of information that threatened to unravel the delicate fabric of his family's world, and he knew he had to act swiftly. His father, Jack Abbott, had been deeply involved with Diane Jenkins, and while Jack believed he was in control of the situation, Kyle knew better. Diane was manipulative and cunning, and Kyle had witnessed firsthand the lengths she would go to get what she wanted. He couldn't let his father fall into her trap, but he also knew that confronting Jack would not be easy. Kyle stopped pacing and took a deep breath, steeling himself for the conversation ahead. He pulled out his phone and dialed his father's number. The phone rang a few times before Jack answered, his voice cheerful but tired. "Hey Kyle, what's up?" Jack's voice crackled through the line. "Dad, we need to talk. It's important," Kyle said, trying to keep his voice steady. "Sure, son. What's on your mind?" Jack replied, a hint of concern creeping into his tone. "It's about Diane," Kyle said bluntly. "I have some information that you need to hear." There was a long pause on the other end of the line before Jack spoke again, his voice low and wary. "What kind of information?" Kyle took another deep breath, his grip tightening on the phone. "I've been keeping an eye on her, Dad. I didn't trust her from the start, and it turns out I was right. She's been making plans behind your back, trying to manipulate you and everyone around you. She's not who she says she is." Jack sighed heavily. "Kyle, I appreciate your concern, but Diane and I have been through a lot together. She's changed. People can change. I know people can change, Dad, Kyle said, his frustration mounting. But Diane hasn't. She's playing you, and if you don't see it now, it'll be too late. Jack's silence on the other end of the line spoke volumes. Kyle knew his father was struggling with the revelation, torn between his feelings for Diane and the harsh reality his son was presenting. Kyle, come to the house. Let's talk about this face to face, Jack finally said, his voice weary but firm. I'll be there in 10 minutes, Kyle replied, ending the call and grabbing his keys. He needed to make Jack see the truth, no matter how painful it might be. As Kyle drove through the quiet streets of Genoa City, his mind raced with thoughts of how to convince his father. He arrived at the Abbott estate and walked up the steps, his heart pounding in his chest. Jack was waiting for him in the living room, his expression a mixture of worry and resolve. Kyle, sit down, Jack said, gesturing to the couch. Kyle sat down, his eyes locking onto his father's. Dad, I know this is hard to hear, but Diane is dangerous. She's been meeting with people behind your back, making deals that could hurt our family. I've seen the proof. Jack leaned back in his chair, his eyes searching Kyle's face for any sign of deception. What kind of proof? Kyle pulled out his phone and showed Jack a series of photos and messages he had intercepted. They detailed Diane's secret meetings and conversations, painting a clear picture of her true intentions. Jack's face paled as he looked through the evidence, his hands trembling. I can't believe this. After everything we've been through. Oh, Dad, Kyle said softly. But we can't ignore the truth. We have to protect our family. Jack nodded slowly, his eyes filled with pain and determination. You're right, Kyle. We need to confront her. The confrontation with Diane was inevitable. As Jack and Kyle waited for her to return to the estate, the tension in the room was palpable. When Diane finally walked through the door, she immediately sensed something was wrong. Jack, Kyle, what's going on? She'd asked, her eyes darting between the two men. Diane, we need to talk, Jack said, his voice steely. Kyle has some information that concerns us both. Diane's expression shifted to one of feigned innocence. What kind of information? Kyle stepped forward, his eyes blazing with determination. The kind that exposes your lies and deceit. I've seen what you've been doing, Diane. The secret meetings, the manipulations. You're trying to destroy our family from the inside. Diane's eyes widened in shock, but she quickly regained her composure. Kyle, you must be mistaken. I would never do anything to hurt Jack or this family. Save it, Diane, Jack said coldly. I've seen the proof. Kyle showed me everything. You've been using us and it ends now. Diane's facade finally crumbled and she let out a bitter laugh. Fine. You caught me, but don't think for a second that you can just get rid of me.